Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn, and today we are talking about Persona 3 Reload, the Persona 3 remake that is coming out to everything, including on Xbox Game Pass day one. Shout out to Xbox Game Pass, because if you're trying to not spend $70 on a game, here's your opportunity. Spend $10, $15. That said, Persona games real long, so you might be spending that $10 a month for a few months to get through the Persona 3 Reload. But regardless of all of that, so we are getting a remake of Persona 3, which, I mean, I hope we start to hear talk about Persona 6 sometime after this comes out. But we're not here to talk about Persona 6, we're here to talk about Persona 3. And, you know, I was so intrigued about this game being essentially made today because it has been made in the light of Persona 5, but with all of the story and characters of Persona 3. But Persona 3 is a particularly unique title. So Persona as a whole is a pretty unique series and franchise because they approach some serious topics. I just recently played all the way through Persona 5 Royal, and some of the things that they touch on and talk about and that happen in that game, you're like, damn. Okay, all right, we went there of all places. Ooh, man, if the game was trying to make you uncomfortable, it managed to do so and did so well. And Persona 3 is kind of where it started, because Persona 1 and 2 are like dungeon crawlers. They are not the same games as 3, 4, and 5 are, right? And the thing about Persona 3 is that the way that you summon a persona in Persona 3 is a lot different than a lot of the other titles, and it's a pretty serious way that they go about it. And it'll be really interesting to see the conversations that I know are going to arise around Persona 3, because Persona as a franchise was always like doing well, especially because like it's the more successful spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. But it wasn't until Persona 5 that it really got put into the mainstream limelight, to where it was something that people talked about as a serious RPG franchise, the way that they talk about Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, right? Of like, this is a person that gets to sit at the round table, and that is Persona. And it wasn't at the table of the forefront of the media when Persona 3 came out. And so when you have some of the themes and topics, especially with the state of the internet right now, it'll be really interesting to see how Persona 3 is perceived. But let's take a look at the game, okay? We got a handful of trailers. We're going to bounce all the way back, and we will take a look at those. So let's get started. I realized that I didn't do what I normally do. I would have went and grabbed the original Persona 3 trailers, if they even existed, and watched those. It's too late now. Forgot to grab them. Aegis, you're so cool looking. Man, the aesthetics of Atlus with the Persona games, like with the design that they put in their menus and stuff, so good. You know, one of the things I do wonder also about with, play day one with Game Pass. One of the other things that I do wonder with Persona 6, like Persona 3 is definitely just being built on the shoulders of Persona 5, right? Like so much of this is just utilizing a ton of what they had in Persona 5 and applying Persona 3 to it. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. That is not a critique, that is an observation. Persona 5, like I said, we just got done playing it. We spent all last year playing it, and it looked great, it felt great, it sounded great. I did have a couple minor gripes, but that can be saved for the review video. And I think that this is the perfect way to do Persona 3 remake. I kind of had a similar conversation recently about making a Chrono Trigger remake, but using Dragon Quest XI's engine and assets to do so. And I think this is a good way, but it does make me wonder what they're going to do with Persona 6, if we're going to see a step forward in Persona 6, or if they'll just continue on with the, it's not cutting edge, but it looks pretty damn good and is good enough aesthetic that we have with Persona 5 and Persona 3 Reload. But anyway, moving on. So that was the initial reveal trailer back in June of 2023. Moving into August, we have Meet the Seas trailer.
It's the good memories that stay with you.
Is it Seas? CS? SEES? Feel free to correct me.
The mistakes you made that haunt you forever. I'm the one who chose to join you back then. I didn't know what I was capable of.
Did her tits say BJ?
I gotta use what time I have left to set things straight. I don't have the luxury of doing anything else.
We are the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad. The shadows are getting stronger. We need to destroy the Dark Hour itself.
Let's head into Tartarus and try out our new equipment.
Yeah, nothing beats getting actual combat experience.
Oh, Junpei's got your back.
We expected as much, but don't be careless.
Persona abilities can be dangerous, depending on how they're used.
Game looks so good.
I want to use this power to help me live my own life. Take this seriously. I never noticed you could see the stars so clearly up here.
Knowing the truth isn't everything, right?
When that happens, I just go do something fun and forget about it.
It sounds interesting. Don't tell me you've forgotten your promise.
Go on.
Oh, Jesus.
Nothing's gonna end.
Oh, God.
Not if we have anything to say about it.
Your reason for fighting.
Man, I was so damn scared.
What the fuck is Aegis anyway?
Run away. I want a purpose and to have others I care about. That's why I came all this way.
Even if you do forget about us, I'll remind you.
Because Aegis isn't the attendant, right?
Depends on a hat.
Or is she? And by attendant, I mean like the same roles that like Teresa and Marie and the twins served in Persona 4 and 5 respectively. What is Aegis's role? This is such a sick key art. Man, I do want to play this. It's just about finding the time and the sanity to do so. Moving into September, this is a conflicting fates trailer.
They took down that shadow during the last full moon like it was nothing.
I have no intention of relinquishing my abilities and living an empty life. Well, Jin, are they our enemy?
There's a new threat. Persona users just like us.
They called themselves Strega.
Somebody's got a grudge against you, and they asked us to get revenge.
No!
Man,
Stay away!
that guy is gross looking. Oh, well,
You guys
he's also
don't have
evil.
the slightest clue what'll happen if the Dark Hour disappears, do you?
What do you mean?
Do you really want to lose your abilities?
Does Persona 3 have a full animation the way 4 and 5 do? To where you can just essentially watch a condensed form of the story in like a 4 or 5 episode anime?
Some kind of hero.
Not that I intend to do so. I would much rather play it. I'm just curious if it exists.
Takaya?
Bro, you good? There's the attendant. That is definitely the attendant. I don't know who she is, though.
I'm gonna make pancakes.
It's pancake party time.
So that means, what the fuck is Aegis?
We don't have much time left.
That's part of the mystery. You don't get to find that out until hour 117 of the game.
Things we did together, all of it. To me, that's a fate worse than death.
Freeze!
Had you not decided to eliminate the Dark Hour, we wouldn't have had a reason to interfere.
I guess I was wrong. For the first time in my life, I realized what I wanted.
Some things you only pick up stepping off the straight and narrow.
Is I guess Aegis would be the mascot style character, the way that Teddy and Mona were in 4 and 5 respectively. She's just not quite as cute in the same way, at least.
Velvet, oh velvet, my master has a long nose. All together now. Velvet, oh velvet, my master has a long nose.
That was delightful. Thank you for that. Okay, here's the official Heroes Arrival trailer. Okay, that tells me who Aegis is, which means that Aegis's identity will largely be a mystery in some way, much the way that Teddy's and Mona's was.
I will.
Hit all!
Can it be?
What is the main character of Persona 3's name? Like, officially, unofficially. He's got to have a name, right? Because like in Persona 4, his name was Yu Harukugami?
That's more than just
Harukami? Damn, Yu. And then in Persona 5, it was Ren Amamiya was technically his name.
Mind if I ask you something?
Obviously, you can name him whatever you want.
Strength from?
Everyone just called him Joker.
Yeah, you're just something special.
You're seriously one of a kind, leader.
Don't let us down, leader. Energy! With the power of 2. Yes.
What the fuck? Hold on. Can you fast forward YouTube videos by hold clicking on the right side like this is on a phone?
I ask you something? Where do you get that strength from?
Yes! Well, you learn something new all the time. I just did. I'm on PC, and you can just click and hold on the right side. Can you rewind too? No, it looks like it only...
That's more than just being talented.
Yeah, okay. It only goes forward. I guess it can't differentiate which side of the screen you're clicking on, but I did not expect that to happen. All right, here's the trailer that was shown off at the Game Awards in December. Oh, man. All right. She's dead. Interestingly enough, they have not actually shown up to this point the summoning.
Sewing is my life.
Last one. Go for it.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Moonwalk. Next stop is Iwatodai.
The hell?
That's the Dark Hour. A time period hidden between one day and the next.
They only appear during the dark hour and attack anyone who roams free outside the coffins. It's our job to defeat them. Pretty exciting, huh?
Persona.
Next.
Good job, voice actor.
Why do you try to fight when you know it's hopeless?
In fact, I don't even really have a good reason to live. For me, or you, or anyone,
Puppy!
just simply existing gives our lives meaning. Soon, the end will come.
We are not giving up, no matter how long it takes.
Isn't the attendant's name in this game Elizabeth?
This is what it means.
I just realized I think I actually know her name, and I think it's Elizabeth. There's also a couple things that we'll talk about like some feelings that I have and some thoughts about how this game is going to, like some of the reservations that I have and some things that I'm excited about once we get further through it. So here's the battle sequence trailer a couple days after the Game Awards, December 10th. Well, there you go. Game looks so good though. Like, you can clearly see that they took a lot of what they learned from Persona 5 and just applied it to make this game look even better. Yeah, the pile-on all-out attacks from Persona, genius. They feel great always. Oh, that was sick. That'd be so freaking hard. It clearly still hits you in some capacity. They all jerk when they freaking blow their heads off. Well, that was sick. Are these like combo Persona attacks? That was really sweet. All right, and then we got the opening movie. So this is just what it'll play at the beginning of the game. I'll save this. I won't watch this just in case you want to watch it for yourself when you play it. So this is the Seal Your Fate trailer. This just came out a few days ago. This is actually a live action trailer, so we'll see how this goes. Live action trailers for video games are always curious. So this is Seal Your Fate. This came out on January 22nd.
Time.
You know, they said this was featuring Aiden Gallagher. I don't know who this is.
Escape.
Who is Aiden Gallagher?
No matter which path you choose,
Why am I
it
supposed to care?
delivers us all to the same end. Your time is limited. Soon, the end will come. It's all up to you now. The world does not need a script. That is already written.
That is a weird looking, like he's clearly running on like a treadmill, trying to look like he's running naturally, and it was not working. Okay, that was quite bad. And here's the official battle strategy trailer. Is this different from what we just watched? No, this is definitely what we just watched. Okay. This is just uploaded to a different YouTube page, and this is from 2 days ago on January 26th. We'll check their page just to see if Atlus uploaded anything since I grabbed these trailers. They also have a battle strategy trailer, but is this different from this one from December? No, it's definitely not. It's definitely still the same. So I don't know what that is. But anyway, so I guess we'll conclude at least watching the trailers there. So there's a couple things. I'll start with the things that I'm excited about with Persona 3. So one, it looks really good. It's going to be available on a lot of things. We're getting a much more accessible version of Persona 3 compared to Persona 3 in the past, because Persona 3 is a game that has so many different versions. You got Persona 3, you got Persona 3 Fez, which is short for Festival. You got Persona 3 Portable, which is the one that came to PSP. And unfortunately, all of these games have differences. And unfortunately, so does Persona 3 Reload, okay? And the biggest difference is that in Persona 3 Fez is the accessible DLC, which is it's called The Answer, as well as a couple of things that are in Fez that aren't in Persona 3 Portable. So in Persona 3 Portable, what you gain is a second main character, also known as FemC or female main character. And the female main character comes with a completely new set of dialogue and like social links of the connections that she makes with the friends, the relationships, the romances and stuff that she has are different because obviously she is femme compared to Mask, like the main character that we see on the screen right now. But Persona 3 Portable has some other issues. One, you don't get 3D explorable world environments. The dungeons are still 3D, but the world is not. The world is a menu, basically. Also, you miss out on the animated cutscenes, and you don't get the answer. So you get but you do get gameplay improvements. Like in Persona 3 Base, you can only control the main character and the rest of your party acts on their own. Persona 3 Portable, you get to control each character individually like you're probably used to with most RPGs, which you don't in Fez, and some people feel one is better than the other, but the biggest downside of Portable is that you do lose the 3D world environments, you lose the animated cutscenes, I think, and also what was the other, whatever the other thing I said was. And there was originally the hope that Persona 3 Reload would just become the definitive way to play Persona 3, and it's not. If you notice, we only ever saw this main character, and that's because the FemC is not in this game. Additionally, the answer is not in this game, and a lot of people think that it's okay that the answer isn't here because that's a very divisive piece of DLC, but people still consider it to be part of the whole of this. Did I say I was going to start out with the things that I'm excited about? Because I definitely dived straight into the shit that was controversial about Persona 3 Reload. But anyway, so that aside, like, it's like, man, dang it. We're missing, like, I wouldn't say half, but a pretty significant alternate perspective of the FemC perspective, as well as the DLC in this. But one, game looks great. It's going to be available on everything. It's really pretty. They took a lot of what they learned from Persona 5. They've already said, like, if you played Persona 5, you're going to feel right at home with Persona 3 Reload, and I think that's really fantastic. That's really great. And the other thing that I'm really happy about is that they said we voice acted everything. I shouldn't say that because I'm pretty sure what they said was all of the social links are voice acted. And that's really cool because the social links are the biggest story developments for the individual characters, because when you're building up someone's social link, you get to see that character's story and build up your connections and relations with that individual character, with the main character, right? And in Persona 5, there's 10 ranks of the social link, and the first one and the 10th one had voice acting, and everything in between did not. And that was really unfortunate because there were some really powerful, important scenes that I felt like would have been even more powerful if they were voiced. And so all of the social links in Persona 3 Reload are going to be voiced, and that's fantastic, and that's awesome. It sounds like they have a really strong voice cast. I liked what I heard. Especially, like, Persona 5 had a really good voice cast. Although whoever localized Persona 5, for this love of God, I hope you are not the same person that localized Persona 3, because, and I'm not saying that the translation was bad, the pronunciations were awful. Freaking on Takamaki, like, you got like 80% of the Japanese names correct, and then we got on Takamaki and Ryuji Sakamoto, and I'm like, Sakama what now? Sakamoto, come on, it's not even that hard. Sweet Christ. Anyway, that aside, so we're missing part of what would be a truly recreate definitive edition of Persona 3 Reload. But the thing that also has me kind of worried in a sense is that Atlus has this really bad habit, or good habit, depending on your perspective, of releasing a director's cut of their games. That's where we had Persona 3 into Persona 3 Fez Festival. We had Persona 4 into Persona 4 Golden. We had Persona 5 into Persona 5 Royal. And the director's cut versions are always really good. They bring forth a lot of improvements, additional content. They bring in some quality of life changes. Like, they are good products. But as someone who only got into Persona when Persona 4 Golden came to Steam, which was in like 2019 or whatever, this will be my first time seeing a Persona game come out and not being able to just immediately play the director's cut. And the question is also posed of, this is a remake. This is Persona 3 remade. This isn't Persona 6. If it was Persona 6, I 100% would believe that Persona 6 is going to have a director's cut. We're going to see Persona 6 Phoenix or Persona 6 Rising or Persona 6 whatever, right? And Persona 3 Reload, I don't know if we're getting a director's cut of Persona 3 Reload. If we are going to get one, I just want to play that one, because with these 100 to 150 hour games, with the number of games that I want to play and the time that I have available in my life, I can only justify playing these games once. And if there's a definitive edition that's going to have that additional content, that's the version that I want to play. And so like when Persona 6 comes out, I'm going to be like, that's cool. That's great. I will see you in a few years when we get the director's cut. But I don't know if we're going to see that with Persona 3. And obviously they haven't said, because they want you to buy this one and not do what I'm thinking about doing, is waiting for the director's cut. But this game might not get a director's cut. And so I don't know how to feel about this game as a whole. But what I do know is that it looks really good, and I will like to play it one day. But that day is not this day, and it will not be very soon. But it is going to be available on everything. It's going to be available on PlayStation. I think it's even available on Switch. I mean, this is an Xbox account trailer, so I mean, obviously it's not here. But if we go to the official Atlus West, it's not on Switch. Okay, that's really? But Persona 5's on Switch. Why didn't you put this on Switch? I know why, because it's going to be on the Switch too. That's why. They didn't want to downgrade anything for Switch base, so they're going to put it on the subsequent Nintendo Switch console that comes out here in the next like 6 months or so, and it's probably going to get announced in the next month or so. Anyway, so that's why it's not on Switch, because it's going to be on Switch too, but it is otherwise on PlayStation and Xbox and Steam and also Game Pass, and so that's really cool. But let me know what your thoughts are on Persona 3. How are you feeling about it? What are your thoughts in regards to a director's cut version? What are your thoughts in regards to FemC and the answer not being here, but it also being like a really, really beautiful game with even more improvements than we've seen ever before? Let me know how you feel. Put your thoughts down in the comments below, or catch up with me on social media. I'm on basically all of them: Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram. We got a Discord, and links are in the description. Or catch up with them on stream, because this video is recorded live on Twitch, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.